sunshine fades, is it alright? The world is going through a sunshine phase, is it alright? Yes, sir. See the people looking out for lookers. You can be so rich and you can be so poor. You're gonna take a sunshine time. Oh yeah, man. Look at the lookers and see what they're doing. Sunshine fade, sunshine fade, sunshine fade, sunshine fade. Oh yes. Take what you want, take what you got. Let me have it. Oh, you're gonna have it all right. And you're gonna just see. Oh, when the sunshine fades. Take it away, boy. Sunshine, sunshine.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women, welcome to Tony Commander to our Galpohkpa Chesson talk show. Today is November the 27th. We wake to another day in Liberia as news abound of the corruption, of news abound of the debts, of news abound of the endless stealing. Which way, my people? Which way, my people? Let's get into my lesson. My topics for today: senatorial candidates Thomas Fala, Darius Dillon debate. 2. Death of LRA auditors. Actually, deaths of LRA auditors and RAA boss Nyanswa. 3. Free Liberia now. Vote yes for dual citizenship. About the senatorial election between Darius Dillon and Thomas Fala. There's news about that Fala has refused to debate. on the grounds that George Weah didn't debate and won the presidency. Why should he debate? So we must first ask the question, what is the significance of a candidate debate, a candidate's debate? The significance is, people say Fala been there for 15 years. So what he's going to debate, he already knows everything. Dylan been there for 1 year. What's the difference between their terms of services? First of all, Fala been there for 15 years. Our country hasn't gotten any better. Our economy is gone in the dirt. George Weah almost has absolute power. Our legislature is a so-say one, so-say all body. The people don't even know how to keep records in the legislature. They don't know how to vote right in the legislature. Our legislature is a total and dire room of incompetence. And we need light into that room. Because even though these people educated, look at men like Goopy, who left America here in Providence and Massachusetts, and display some knowledge of knowing what to do and knowing what to say. He go back to Liberia. He sits there for 9 years, and he's a total idiot. He knows nothing about leadership. They think they can come here and be salesmen and run around selling insurance and go to Liberia and be legislators. That's the problems we're having in Liberia. All these incompetents coming in Liberia and just feeling that because they come from America, they can fill any positions in Liberia. And we don't have real men in Liberia. We have only grave seekers and deceivers, incompetent people, and useless native men running our country. We don't have no Liberian. We got some native, I think Darius Dillon may be the only Liberian, but we got some natives running our legislature who have no understanding, competence, or leadership, and exemplary standing. These people are just, they seem a group of tribal people. They're ruling our country like a little tribal village. Everything comes down with oral, through oral traditional means. Nobody writes nothing. Nobody documents nothing because you got a group of educated illiterates running our legislature. And yet Tamafala saying, why do he debate Darius Dillon? Because he's been there for 15 years already, even though we don't know what he did when they stole our money. Where Fala get money from the best school? That school coming under the Ministry of Defense. Under the Ministry of Education. Defense either, because we need military schools. Maybe that school would go straight to the army, where the military people will get a high school degree, diplomas. So we're not playing with our country. Everything you're doing corrupt. Commander Chesson got a means of rectifying it. So you can sleep all day, you can pretend like you know all day, and you can steal all day, because everything you own will not leave Liberia. You like too many women, you got too many children that you got to support. And you know Liberian women now, they can be suing you left and right. So you better hang on to your money, because all your houses you're building are a Carrot's Gray come from Slipway there. Now he got a whole mansion. Where he got mansion from? You know? These people that steal. I'm a Chesson, got degrees, serve on the door. I ain't got no mansion. I ain't got one stitch in Liberia yet. Then a Carrot's Great come from the ghetto. He ain't got no education, no money, nothing. Overnight, these people just building mansion. You think you're keeping those mansions? You're not keeping them. Because the civil government not taking over Liberia. That's what the military got to take over. And you're going to sit before me and tell me how you came from poverty and got rich and Liberia got poor. I want to know that. And if y'all can't explain that to Commander Chesson, everything you own is going to the Republic of Liberia. I ain't playing with y'all. Every damn family in Liberia that got wealth, starting from Benin, Nigeria, down to the bottom, y'all got to tell us how y'all got that money. If y'all can't explain to us how y'all got that money, we're taking all of that thing back. We're taking everything back. The time of the Liberian people is here. You think I'm a joker? We'll see it. So why would Fala debate Darius Dillon? Fala has no educational standing where Darius Dillon stands. Darius Dillon will beat that man just by talking fast. And Darius Dillon has told you all, time and again, that Fala will never turn fool to debate him. Did you expect anything else? Now the evidence is clear. Fala can't challenge. He can't challenge Darius Dillon. Okay? My only hope is that the way Liberians, sound thinking Liberians, know that Fala has no wealth. Know that everything Fala owns is for the Liberian people because he stole it from the Liberian people. Take all the people county fund and district fund and use it as his personal means. No, Fala. Because when Commander Chesson come, you got to sit before me and tell me how you got the money to build those schools in Liberia. You ain't got no money. How you got the money to be given out for election and all the things, and our bank is totally bankrupt. How picking? Mandate picking? How Fala? How you got all the things? Okay? So all of you who's stealing this money, your turn coming to explain to Commander Chesson. That's why I want to handle this thing, because no other Liberian capable of challenging these people and bringing them to their knees like me. I ain't got time for no court, because we know these people stole. The military government, they will have to tell us, tell me how they got the money. I'm going to ask them. We know these people never had any money, never had any property, never had any wealth before they came to power. If they got property, bring the deed before you came to power. Let's see the deed. If the deed is genuine, keep your property. The money you put to build it, invest in it, you're going to tell her how you got it. If you ain't got it, we're taking it back. Okay? So we got to do everything fairly and equitably. But people just can't come and continuously rip our money off every century. People just rip us off. No, we got to stop it. You'll come to your senses. We got to stop it. It not because Peter did it or because Paul did it. If we keep on that trend, we will never change corruption. And I ain't playing that. I'm going back from Ellen Johnson to this day. We want to know how the people got rich. And people like Ben and I, you and them, who got $1 million and still participating in politics, we're going back to that era so they can tell us how you became a millionaire and still want to participate in Liberian politics. We're not forcing with you. You will hang yourself. Because our investigation of corruption started from Ellen Johnson term. Because that's when we had a legitimate government into power. Charles Taylor is in jail for his crimes. All the people under Charles Taylor regime still practicing politics today. When we catch you, we're going back to Charles Taylor to find out how you got wealthy, where your wealth and prosperity came from. So the people who are the politics, after Charles Taylor time, we ain't bothering you. But Fanny Sherman, Philip Banks, all these educated criminals got to come and tell us how they disparage our country like this. How they got all this wealth and riches and live off the Liberian people while the masses of Liberian people suffer. How the Liberian people had to send them away for education and for health treatments and all of that when GFT, Chike, is not equipped, not funded enough to take care of the masses of Liberian people in Liberia. We got to bring a new dimension and life to our people and our country. We got to open our eyes in this era and follow our Constitution to the letter and hold these people accountable, responsible for the massive stealing, the massive mismanagement, the massive failures of each of these regimes to live up to the duties and responsibilities under the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia to the Liberian people. We can't continue on this path. We are just a nation that breeding rogues and criminals. We're breeding all these useless people that must face the rule of law and the wrath of the Liberian people. So, my Liberian children, how will you say Tamafala is qualified to debate Darren's Dole? That's total nonsensical nonsense. Because if Tamafala debate Darius Dillon, there will be no doubt in the Liberian minds that Fala is darkness and Darius Dillon is the light. So that's a challenge right there. So you think darkness will kind of mess with light? No. Light will overshadow it. Take all the darkness away and bring it into light itself. And we have to change its color from darkness to light. And you know, people living in darkness cannot stand the light. So the darkness cannot accept to debate with the light. So let him stay in darkness. Let him wither away with the people's money, thinking it will bring him success and his family will benefit from that. You're living an illusion, brother. So that's my first topic, my people. We got to understand who our leaders are and what they mean to us. Okay? There can be no debate. So it will be like honesty and integrity versus Babati achievement and contribution. Tamapala hasn't made any achievement or contribution to the Liberian people. How the man will take your money from your treasury, from your district funds, and use it as his personal money to build school. Nothing wrong with that. Even if he build a school without your consent, or you put a school in a district name and put all the funding in the district account and take no responsibility of ownership for the property he built. And he says it's for the people. Nothing wrong with that. But when you put in your family name, and we know you don't have that money, when you put the property of the Liberian family in your name, jail, prosecution, and flogging under Commander Chesson, Nande. In Nande, because you got to tell us how you got all this wealth. And my people got bold, walking in feces-infested water, no good drinking water, no electricity in my country. You put electricity out, you got a young girl with her little thing talking about how everybody, we are so good, people will come on. What street was that? Tottenham Boulevard or something to see the development in America. It's not like the food that a young girl, she come here. I don't even want to talk to her about her because she on Facebook there with the lights behind her, talking about how it's so great and nice in Liberia. Then the next week the light gone. You can't see her no more. Even she go there with her cell phone and order that no light there. You see how we make ourselves foolish? 4 lights, 9 light poles. You think your whole life will change overnight? And that's the same thing with it for Tamafala. I appreciate British Radio Gale being in Liberia. I saw him going throughout the city, taking a poll about the upcoming election. I don't want to hear what the people got to say in the street. No. Those are not the people that determine things in Liberia. Yeah, they will go and vote, but those people are voting on personalities. The real people that are voting for Liberia vote on issues and principles. So if you want to deal with the issues in Liberia, go speak to the teachers, go speak to the nurses, go speak to the people in the private institution. Let them tell you what they feel, how they feel. But I don't want to hear Zokos in the street. You know, I don't want to hear the people in the street what they would say. First of all, some of them would be scared to talk. And they thought they would lie. They would say they voted for the government. Only a few of them got the bravery in them to stand and say, "Oh, I'm voting for this man." They will tell you straight up, "Well, you know, our people deceitful." But we want to hear from the teachers, not government teachers, because you know government teachers will be scared. Their jobs depend on it. But go to the private sector. Talk with the principals. Talk with the teachers in the school. Let us know what the problems they are facing and what the needs of their institution from the government. Because we got to set our country correct. First of all, we got to stop George Weah regime from the stealing. We got to stop them. Our money. People can't be stealing our money and keep claiming that their money and that their wealth, and we know it's not theirs. We got to stand for something, man. So let me take a little break before I get myself on top of death of LRA or deaths of LRA auditors. Let me correct that right now because I just don't want to keep having people thinking that we're doing the wrong thing around here, you know. But so let me just correct that right now. Then we can just go on from here. Oh Lordy, Lordy, I got the capital. Yep. Okay, so I will take a break there. I'll get into my second lesson. Please bear with me, my peoples, as we get down to the nitty-gritty. Okay, my second lesson is deaths of LRA auditors and IAA boss Nanswa. Okay, let's deal with that issue soon. So we'll be back in a few seconds.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me.
Well, I'm back. Let's get the show on the road. Okay. The auditors, the 4 auditors that were recently, now we know the possibility of them being murdered is unchallengeable. The autopsy came up. The 2 people in the car, the first report came up from the government was a lie. Was a lie. I can't remember even what they said about Gifty and Peters in the car. I can't remember what lie they told. But they told some lie. I can't remember what they said. Either blunt trauma fools or something. I don't know I can't remember what they said. Because when I started reading that thing, I just threw it away because I knew it was a lie. I knew it was a lie. And I'm glad that Mr. Lama pursued this case on radio, telling the Liberian people that he went and visited the funeral home, although they didn't allow them in for the first few days. They finally relented and let them in to go see the body of their family member. And he said when he saw his wife, bruises all over her body, all around her neck. He knew that her wife had been tortured. Slap marks all on her face. Still. So how did people just brutally kill innocent Liberian people like that? They're ever pursuing the case and demanding and even suing the Liberian government too. Because the newspaper say he sued already. Front Page Africa say he sued. So if he has sued the government already, Musa Dean, the Minister of Justice, came out yesterday and contradicted everything the government report stated. Because the real forensic report, the examination, the autopsy done by the pathologist was falsified. And they came out and spoke on it because their professions were on the line. Their professional competence and abilities were on the line. So the Minister of Justice had to come out and expose the truth about how these people die. Carbon monoxide and something else with carbon monoxide in the lungs. Those were only two findings of why these people die. And carbon monoxide, you can die from carbon monoxide easily. Easily. You wouldn't even know you're dying. What more if they beat you and knock you out? Those people were already killed. Or they were out. And they put them in a car and closed the exhaust pipe. Left the engine on. Put something in the exhaust pipe to clog it. So all that fume come back into the car. And you breathe it. Even if you awake, you sit in the car, you breathe that thing, you will not even know you're breathing it. You will not know. You just pass out and die. That's the quickest and easiest thing to kill people, carbon monoxide poisoning. That's why in everybody's houses in America, you got to have a detector for carbon monoxide. Because if that thing is in your home and you in the winter, your whole house closed up, you may die without even knowing. So this is a deadly way these two people died. So just from the autopsy of these two people, there is sufficient indication, suspicion, evidence that the other two auditors were killed as well. There is evidence based on the government's initial report of the autopsy. The government came out and lied to the Liberian people about this autopsy. And you think you killed 4 auditors, and the Auditor General of Liberia would be silent about that thing? No one can be silent about it. Nobody's going to be silent about it. So there's evidence, clear, unadulterated evidence that the government hands are in the deaths of Gifted Lama and Albert Peters. They killed our auditors because they were auditing their government. What will the Liberian people do about this? What will the masses of Liberian people do about this? Are there sound thinking, loyal, and patriotic Liberians in Liberia today? Are there Liberians in Liberia today who have sense and wisdom to know that people can't just kill our employees of the government that are loyal patriotic, and dedicated to their jobs of protecting Liberian people. What will the masses of Liberian people do about the killing and lying about the deaths of our auditors? Are there men in Liberia? Are Liberian people without honesty, sincerity, God-fearing, love for Liberia and Liberian people? Are you people so weak, gullible, dumb, and useless that people can just kill our auditors? Who will want to work for you? You're talking about dual citizenship and all the things. When we come, we got to protect ourselves because you people are murderers. You people have murderers leading you and you remain silent. And now our auditors are dead. Only CDC can work now for the government because anybody else opposition they can be killed. Where our country going? We don't even need to change the law. Just we are already a dictator. If you killing all our people in the government or our official representatives of the government falsifying an autopsy against patriotic Liberians, I rest my case. If Liberian people eyes don't open from this case, we have been pursuing you. Now it have come out clear and simple that the government killed these people, that the government falsified documents to deceive the Liberian people about the deaths of these people, that the government, especially George Weah, must be held accountable. And you see, Liberian people, our situation is so pathetic in Liberia. It's past useless, now we're going to pathetic. It's so pathetic in Liberia that the people even talking about killing the vice president now. A year they not kill her main bodyguard and right hand man. He died last night of the day. I heard it. I heard Francis Doe talking it. That this man either died yesterday or the day. So they finished killing her right hand man. She talking against George Weah. The man is a murderer. They already talking that she talking for the opposition. Jewel, be careful. You've been long looking for power. Now you got the power. And these people want to take the power from you and your life. A hint to the wise. It's official. You want to be vice president? Stay there. You care about your left? Pack up and leave Liberia. Because these people really mean to stay in power beyond their term. Not only by changing the constitution, but killing the people who are talking. If they kill everybody else, who will stand up to them? Who is going back to Idi Amin and George and Samuel Doe? Idi Amin and Samuel Doe with George Bullet. The same useless criminals leading Liberia. Famole, Ellen Johnson, Amos Sawyer, all these useless people, and you got them running around free instead of hauling those people down and beating the life out of them. You got the people walking around free who stole for our country and got us in this mess, kill our fathers and got us in this mess today. Which way, Liberian people? Which way, my Liberian people? Which way? Let me get on my lesson 3.
You're like a circle that floats around me, keeping me safe and sound. And when I fall, you tied a rope to me. You're blessing me every day. I was down with an illusion, like a sparrow with broken wings. But now I shine with your reflection on me.
Dual citizenship. Yeah, also, they got the ballots out. But before I get there, I need money. You see, all these things I'm doing, they cost money. And I do it because I can do it. And I want my talent to be seen. So you people can have the benefit of enjoying my broadcast. So the more I get support from y'all, the better it is for me to expand my broadcast. Okay? So I've been in this thing for long. And it's time people start showing some appreciation. I will appreciate it. Aluta! Continua. I got a cash card. So my cash app card is there. Make sure you take good notice of that and respond. The time of the people is now. All my jealous friends wondering how Chesson got this educated and eloquent. I've been that way all the time. I've been telling you, let's come together all this time. My education is not a limitation to my abilities. It's an enhancement of them. So don't be surprised. I've been doing this thing for long. I've been writing. Now it's time for me to start talking. Check yourselves before you wreck yourselves. Aluta! Continua. Free Liberia now. Vote yes for dual citizenship. You know, my people, we're not supposed to be voting at all. We are not supposed to be voting at all. Why? Because the government of Liberia, to the courts or the judiciary, has passed a law that a referendum being proposed for this election on December 8th is unlawful. It's not within the purview of legality in the eyes of the court. Why? Because it's a violation of two provisions of our Constitution, two articles of our Constitution. And Liberian people, your little children in Liberia, tell them, oh, we got to do it anyway. What you want the vote got to do on? I heard some idiot talking about we're destroying the thing that said something of the pioneers' children. You can destroy all of that. You think by destroying it, you'll be destroyed? We can build that thing. We can build it back on private properties, and you can't touch it. You think we're foolish people? I ain't a foolish man. Instead of you're thinking on this corruption and stealing your own native people doing, you're thinking about frivolous things that don't matter to our country. The courts of Liberia say we cannot have a referendum because Article 91 and Article 2 of the Constitution shall be violated if that occurs. But the government come and tell us they don't give a damn what the Supreme Court says. They got a lower court's order, so they go on by that. The ballots are all printed and they can't change it. Why they can't change it? Because there's no money in the country. There is no money. So you're voting on an illegal referendum that has been opposed to by the courts of Liberia, by the Supreme Court, most importantly. All the other lesser courts have no power more than the Supreme Court. Any laws they make when the Supreme Court says this is this, every other law is shattered, except the law that the bench of the Supreme Court passed. Now you even telling the Chief Justice and all the Associate Justice that the dummies, that they cannot pass laws that the executive will follow, that Natanya McGill, that little young idiot, got more power than all the branches in our country. This is the same thing we've been going on that started a war in 1980. Y'all want us to go back in the war? You're tired with the deaths of your families that's still going on today under the useless people. Now Liberia, we don't know whether people dying every day is normalized. We see so many people dying every day in Liberia. It's becoming a normal thing. That was somebody was saying, instead of George Weah signing Investor's book, he's signing a book of condolences all over Liberia. His own people are dying. His own ministers are dying. Now they're coming to kill the vice president and trying to kill other Liberians. Liberia isn't safe. Liberia isn't safe. But if you must vote, vote yes for dual citizenship only, nothing else. Because everything else they want you to vote for needs to be explained to the Liberian people, need to be debated so we have a clear understanding of why they want to change the terms of the presidency, especially because 6 year term, what the difference between 6 years and 5 years? If he wanted to reduce term, let him reduce it to 3 years. Then we know he's serious, but you take 1 year off and you want people to change our laws on that stupidness? No. The president can say for 6 years. That's a reasonable time for one term. You can get things done in 6 years. You can get things done in 5 or 4. At least 6 years give you ample term to serve your first term to get things accomplished for your administration. So if you don't have another chance, at least you accomplish enough and you can concede and turn over to the next person. Or if you're successful in winning a second term, you stay there. But Liberian people, we can't play with our constitutions and laws. Right now, there is ambiguity about this referendum. Some people saying it's to keep George Weah in power for 3 terms because that's how the people in Ivory Coast and Guinea started with it. I'm not in the places, but if that's a fact, then George Weah cannot tread that same ground. First, the referendum is illegal. The court has said no, will not be held this year. It will be held in 2021. This referendum cannot be held. We have to follow the laws of our country. All these other idiots don't care about law. They're talking about referendum, yeah, let's vote. They're talking about referendum. But this referendum, they say yes for dual citizenship because they want to pamper the Liberian people to say yes to the other things. No. There must be a civil educational process before this referendum can be held. Liberian people have to be of one mind. There can be no doubt in the Liberian people's mind as to why George Weah wants to change the constitution of Liberia, of why they are going to vote to change the constitution of Liberia. Because Liberian people, if you don't understand, even if for dual citizenship, I would say yes, but no. You got to be an informative voter. You can't vote because the president says so, or so person says so, or because you see fella building the road and all that. That's not fella money. You can't be ignorant and stupid forever. If they say the law say you need 1 year to be educated on the referendum, that's the law. Nobody can change it. We cannot change it. McGill cannot change it. That's the Constitution. You must do 1 year of education. Whether you know it or not, whether you know the reason why the referendum passing or not, whether you agree with it or not, whether the majority of people agree with it or not, that is not the constitutional mandate of the West African Republic of Liberia. The law says from the day the legislature amend the law or pass a law for a referendum to be held during the next election, from that moment, the educational process, the informative process, the nationwide process of informing the electorate and educating them about the changes in the constitution for the next election. You need 1 year to do that. Liberia is not a little club. All of us just don't meet in a room and they talk everything. No. We got to travel from county to county and have debates. People got to argue for and against. Why they think there's deception with this referendum? Why some people think that George Weah is passing this thing to stay in power for 3 years? Some people saying that's not true. So right there we have conflict between our leaders and the public. So we need to educate ourselves. We need to have educational sessions where government officials will come there and ask a question and be drilled on this constitutional issue. Our constitution is the lifeblood of our nation. We cannot just change our constitution like that. No, our constitution is sacrosanct. You know what I mean? That means God got a hand on the constitution. That's why our country can't develop, because our people not following the constitution. Our mass of people too educated. Our mass of people too tribalist. Our mass of people have no good ideas for their own lives and safety. That's why you have people like me who are educated in the legal field, who never served in any administration since 1980, who is devoted and loyal to my people and my country. They call that patriotism. And it's time for people like me to come home. I've been a lawyer since 1985. I could be home making money, stealing since 1983. I could be home. I could be rich. I could be kissing up the era administration and getting rich. I could have kept quiet on the alley and go there and be like the rest of them, just eat the money too. But that's not my calling. That's not my calling. If it's not your calling, no matter how people tell you, no matter how you think you could rub or try to flip you, you're not flipped. I ain't got no special magic. I ain't got no special power. It's just not my calling. That's not my area. Politics not my area. I'm a soldier. I don't want to take part in politics. I just know what's right and what it should be done. And if the civilians fail to do that, if the civilians fail to clean up our country, they fail to control our people, fail to discipline our people, fail to stop the stealing and corruption and rampant ignorance that continue to kill my people and cause our government officials to go away for treatment and all the things, while the masses of people have no means to good medical treatment, good medical facilities, good professional medical people. This is a problem. And we can't go on like that, my children. We can't go on like this. So, before I conclude my lesson, Darius Dillon would have wiped fella away in a debate. The deaths of our auditors, what are Liberians doing about that? Now we know firsthand that these people were actually killed. That the president of Liberia came out and said that these people were lovers. That the government of Liberia falsified the autopsy report of the people's deaths. There is no doubt that George Weah hands in the killing of our auditors. And this government must be brought to book now. Now, our president cannot be the prime suspect in the murders of Liberian people. Free Liberia. This referendum is illegal and unlawful, as stated by the Supreme Court of the Republic of Liberia. George Weah, Norma Tanya McGill have the authority to disobey the courts, with the people of Liberia cognizant of the ruling of the Supreme Court. What are Liberian people doing about this blatant disrespect for the judiciary and the rule of law in Liberia by George Weah and Matanya McGill? My young children, our country is going down the drain to native dictators. Our country is going down the drain to native murderers. Our country has gone down the drain to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and her family. Liberia is not a nation to be owned by families. Liberia is not a nation to cater to special groups of people. We are a nation of law and orders. We are a nation of discipline and direction. And we have lost this in the time for us to regain it. Lieutenant Commander Galpohkpa Chesson of the West African Republic of Liberia, class is done. Rise, my people. Rise, my young children. This 12/8/20 senatorial election is a shamble. It's a sham. Free Liberia. Have a good day.